Okay, so I'm in the room now. Okay, so I'm going to find a pause.
Just writing
Skipping event. Cancel. I see that, okay. Tools, broadcast, edit, production truck. Dang it. Okay. Okay,
Can you take this out of here? That way they don't have to listen to me out there.
They have something coming at 3 o'clock.
I don't want them to have to listen. I got to do the starting lineups.
It doesn't close anyway because of that.
Oh, that's right. And fans, welcome to Seattle Pacific University Royal Brome Pavilion. As we're right here on the campus of Seattle Pacific University, I'm Mark Ockett, bringing you the action. Today's matchup in volleyball features the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves and the Seattle Pacific University Falcons. And both these teams getting set for their starting lineups to take place down on the court. I've got the starters for both teams right here to pass along to you. First of all, starting for Alaska Anchorage, it'll be an outside hitter junior, number 2, Tia Allen. Also on the pin, a senior, number 3, Bethany Tuhart. Starting as a senior setter, number 4, Caden Osborne. A junior pin, number 11, Larson Anderson. On the outside is an outside hitter, senior, number 12, as you watch out there on the TV, Kate Bertzel. And a senior middle blocker, number 18, Leilani Elder. So just give you the numbers to kind of keep track of what's going on out there. And the libero for Alaska Anchorage is a junior, number 9, Madison Galloway. Now let's look over on the other side for the Seattle Pacific Falcons. Starting as a middle blocker, a fifth-year senior, number 3, Allison Wilkes. Also starting as a fifth-year player, a middle blocker, number 7, Hannah Hare. Junior outside hitter, number 11, Anna Pallur. Senior setter, number 15, Emily Tolino. Also starting a fifth-year opposite, number 16, Erin Smith. And then the libero is number 17 out there. You'll see Christina Lopez. Rounding out the lineup, outside hitter, fifth year, number 26, Sydney Perry. As you see their uniforms out there, the Falcons, and we'll take a break here briefly. And we're set to get going here. They'll do the introductions down on the court right now. First of all, let's go with it once again, go through those once again for Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. Junior outside hitter, Tia Allen. Junior pin number, that is Bethany Tuhart. Also senior setter, Caden Osborne. Junior pin number 11, Larson Anderson. Senior outside hitter is Katie Bertzel. A senior middle blocker, Leilani Elder. And their libero is a junior, that is Madison Galloway. And again, for the Seattle Pacific Falcons, middle blocker is a fifth-year Allison Wilkes. Also middle blocker, fifth-year player, Hannah Hare. She's a tremendous player. Junior outside hitter is Anna Pallur. Senior setter, Emily Tolino. Fifth-year opposite, Erin Smith. Fifth-year outside hitter, Sydney Perry. And the libero is also a sophomore, Christina Lopez. Giving you a couple times through the lineup as we get ready to go here in this matchup. Alaska Anchorage comes in with a record of 8-7 overall. They've won 1 in a row. They're 2-3 in conference play. At home, they haven't been home too much. 1-1 up there in Anchorage, and that's at the Alaska Airlines Center. And away, they are 3-3. Where they played a lot of games too is neutral, 4-3. So they've been in a number of invitationals, just like the Falcons. The poor Falcons have had one of the roughest schedules I've certainly seen in a long time, as they had to open up against so many ranked teams. They're coming in overall at 1-11, but that can be deceptive right there when you look at who they have played so far this season, starting things off on September 5th. They played against Cal State San Bernardino, ranked 8th at that time, lost 3-1. And then the next one, number 1 ranked Cal State Los Angeles, and they actually battled them hard in that one. They lost 3-2. Following that was Cal Poly Pomona, ranked number 21. They lost 3-1. And then Biola, next thing you know, that was at the Yotes Classic down at Cal State San Bernardino. So a real tough draw to get things going there in that one with all those highly ranked teams. And then they played in the Invitational, the Colorado Premier Challenge at St. Regis and Metro State down there in the state of Colorado. And they had to play 3 more ranked teams. And that would be Lewis, ranked 23rd. Unfortunately, the Falcons were shut out 3-0 in that one. And then the next, or later that day, they played against Concordia St. Paul and lost 3-0. And then Missouri State St. Louis, as they're ranked 4th, Concordia St. Paul, and same thing happened there. So they went 0-8 in those invitationals. But again, just a wicked schedule to get things going. And now that they're played 4 games in GNAC, and they are so far sitting with a record of 1-3. But one hopes that they get their footing starting today. This could be a good start for them against Alaska Anchorage. As the thing is, the Falcons looking for their first home victory after just playing one so far. It's just a long run until they finally got home on Thursday night and were swept by Alaska Fairbanks. What was interesting about that particular match is that every set, all 3 of them, ended in a score of 25-19. That is something you don't normally see. That is going to be out of bounds and a point for Seattle Pacific right out the gate, and so they get on top. All right, back to serve is Abigail Cunningham, senior, as Abigail into the lineup as the early start on the things getting going for them with the service there to get it started. And a kill off the right side. Coming through for Alaska Anchorage is Katie Bertzel. Tied at 1 apiece. Played at 25 up to 4 sets, and then set number 5, if they go that far, is to 15. In either case, you must win by 2. Good serve. Great set, and that one's blocked back strong up front for Alaska Anchorage as they will get the point. Bethany Tuhart, strong up front on the right side there as she's playing the pin position. Next serve on the way. And the Falcons dig it over the top. Great set right there, and that's going to go right down the middle. So it was set up perfectly as Bethany Tuhart is able to get the job done, and the Seawolves lead 3-1. She shifted over on towards the other side now with the new server. And that's going to be Bertzel serving another point for Alaska Anchorage. So they get off to a quick 4-1 start. If this starts climbing much further, you'll see Jason Ryan, the head coach for the Seattle Pacific Falcons, calling a timeout. And I did want to run over those too. Stacy Meisner is in his 2nd year as head coach of the Seawolves, and she was a 6 years assistant coach there. That is knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a point for the Seawolves. So Meisner played at Alaska Anchorage, was assistant coach for 6 years, and now is in her 2nd year as head coach. So she's definitely got Alaska Anchorage in her blood. Set on the backward set, and good hands up front by Seattle Pacific. Coming through that time for the Falcons, it's Anna Pallur. Allison Wilkes will serve. Nice to cut into that momentum that Alaska Anchorage had going on right there. They do a good job of moving the ball around the court, setting things up. Dig, and that is going to be just over the top. Oh, touched by a Falcon player out of bounds. Allison Wilkes just got a piece of it as it went out, and it takes it to a 6-2 score here at Broome Pavilion. Got a couple of favorite officials out there. R1 up in the tower is Ami, and then over as the R2 is Kylene. See them a lot throughout the season. The officiating core in volleyball is just a great tight-knit group of people. A lot of fun to be around. That's out of bounds, and the Falcons pick up the point. Looking at 6-3. Substitution for SPU now in Sophia Chambers. Chambers will serve. Solid serve there as it's put in the air, and great job on the floor. Coming through for the Falcons was Christina Lopez. And getting the job done, the Seawolves over on the left side, coming through that time with the big hammer was Tia Allen. So they've built up a 4-point lead at 7-3 here in first set action. Great to have you tuned in to the broadcast, the webcast. I'm Mark Ockett, bringing you the action from Seattle. Serve just creeping over the net. Hannah Trotter in there and serving now for the Seawolves. Solid teamwork by Alaska Anchorage, and it pays off, as coming through with the big kill that time from the right side was Hannah Trotter. So another point for the Seawolves as they build up a 5-point lead. Get set to serve. The Falcons keeping it alive on their side. Lopez with the set off the dig. Nice try there by Pallure. And that one is going to be now deflected out off a Falcon player. Making that happen over for on the left side there is Alaska Anchorage. And we'll have a timeout. Right now, 9-3 the score, as the Seawolves are on top by 6 points. First timeout called by Seattle Pacific here in the first set. Back to live action now. 9-3. Alaska Anchorage is on top. And they will serve. Pretty much been the case in this first set. The Seawolves seem to be just in the right position taking those kill attempts. And that time, just as I'm saying that, not the case. As coming through, Hannah Hares gets the job done as the Falcons pick up their 4th point of the set. Anna Pallure will serve for SPU. They've been doing a lot of cross-court passing and setting up. That's Alaska Anchorage. And then just getting it into the right spot for the kill. Sydney Perry almost makes it happen right there from the left side. They need a nice, good rally. There you go. Perfect set, and then the finish by Hannah. And that gets the Falcons their 5th point of the set. Just got to find a way to get into some type of groove and really get to that point and then start building to move that through each set and then into the rest of the season. Killing point for Larson Anderson. They have doubled up the score on SPU. Tia Allen out of Mount Spokane High School and St. Martin's. So she transferred within the conference. That's a net violation called against Seattle Pacific. allows Alaska Anchorage to get up to a 6-point lead here in set number 1. They just have had that cushion now. It's starting to be for quite some time. Rather soft serve. There's Lopez over. Perry. Soft set. It worked perfectly. Anchorage definitely in sync here in the early going. Coming through with the kill that time was Bella Burney off the set from Hannah Trotter. Trotter's been very effective so far here in the early going, and it's a 7-point lead for the Seawolves. Going with the reverse set that time. Excellent blocking up front by the Falcons. They get the job done. Coming through, SPU with the 2 on the left side. Hannah Hare, one of them. Sydney Perry right there. And so Christina Lopez now will serve. They need to do what they can to not allow Alaska Anchorage to keep spreading that gap of points out. That one's over. They're going back and forth really well. Katie Birdsell gets the kill that time with the 2 hands. Bethany Tuhart back into the lineup for the Seawolves as they're up by 7 once again. Served by Sydney Johnson. That's solid on the back line by Pallur. Just the big thing there is part of it. They've got to just continue to do that. That almost went in, but she got the pancake down to deliver. There you go. Great movement of the ball and teamwork as Allison Wilkes will finish it off. Madison Galloway rejoins the lineup. Emily Tolino will serve. Usually the substitution for Seattle Pacific is Emily Tolino and Aaron Smith coming in together. That's a kill once again for Amaya Evans. 14-7. They'll do a double substitution. For Alaska Anchorage now coming in is Caden Osborne and also Leilani Elder. And the Seawolves serve again, up by 7 points, 14-7. Pallur, now the set over the top. Across the court they go again. That has been very effective for Alaska Anchorage. The set going clear across court and the kill coming through. This time done by Bethany Tuhart as they expand that lead to 8 points. Seattle Pacific has used 1 timeout. No timeouts used by the Seawolves when it's this working combination. They haven't needed to. Perry with a nice attempt that time, but the defense strong on the back line for the Seawolves. Perry goes with it, and that gets frustrating because the Falcons just looking for a hole in there, trying to find something, the right combination to pick up points and consistently. It's like they'll get a point, then Anchorage gets 2 or 3 points. That's just been the pattern. Sydney Perry delivers from the left side. Good rally, and the Falcons come out on top. Abigail Cunningham back in and will serve for Seattle Pacific. Alaska Anchorage with the white and green color scheme. Falcons with black and white. That one's too long. Service error. Seawolves will serve. Serving for them is Katie Birdsell. They keep finding ways to double up the score on the Falcons. We know SPU is hungry, how bad they want to win, how bad they want to start a winning streak, and they are the defending GNAC champions. They won their opener in GNAC play over Montana State University Billings, so they started out 1-0, but then have lost the last 3. There's the Falcons coming through with a point. And now they will get to serve once again. It'll be Allison Wilkes serving for the second time. Strong off the left side. Alaska Anchorage gets the kill and point. Coming through that time was Tia Allen. Also checking back in for the Seawolves will be Larson Anderson. Back to an 8-point lead. And it's going to be an ace coming through. Madison Galloway gets the job done for the Seawolves, as now they've doubled it up once again. 18-9 is the score. Into the net, off the tape. Service error against the Seawolves. Falcons will get it back. Now, obviously, they've got a lot to do to try to come back in this first set, but at least if they can maintain pace with the Seawolves and then carry that over to set number 2, but 8-point deficit's tough to come back from, especially when it's 18 points. Net call once again against the Falcons. 2 more coming back in. This seems to be their pattern. Hannah Trotter, a setter, and also Bella Burney, right side middle blocker. So they'll set up. They stack up single file. And now the serve coming up. Falcons, nice attempt. Great job on the back line for the Seawolves. That time it was Katie Bertzel. Seawolves just doing a really good job. Their teamwork has been outstanding. Quick hands right up front. Coco Barnett gets the job done for the Falcons. Need to see some more of that. Anna Pallur back to serve. Also, Sydney Perry coming back in for Abigail Cunningham. Just jumped on that one. Her timing was off, Bella Burney, and so the Falcons will pick up the point. They'll take it however they can. Pallur set to serve. Nice job getting over those Falcon players. There's Perry. Perry definitely brings the heat. Won't have to worry about it that time because it is going to be a net violation called against the Seawolves. So the Falcons starting to pick it up a little bit here. Yes, still down by 6, but every point with closing the gap, I think, just helps you out, feel a little better, getting more into this match. Set, and another great set that does go out of bounds. The great thing there is the way it was set up going across court and then putting that one really hard to get over on the left side. So the Falcons pick up another point, and there is a timeout on the floor. This is the first timeout used by Alaska Anchorage. 19-14, they're on top. Back to live action here at Seattle Pacific. Falcons on a nice run. 3 points in a row to make it 19-14. Forcing the Seawolves to call a timeout. Good job over on the far side there. Sophia Chambers gets it done. Now the Falcons finish up with the point, closing the gap to 4 at 19-15. Anna Pallur will serve. So they've had some good luck with her handling the serving back there. Just keep doing what she's doing, and the Falcons just have to stay in that rhythm. Lopez with the set. Powerful, and gets it done. Just a 3-point set now. Gets a little more exciting, and you can see the confidence and enthusiasm of the Falcons picking up right here. Got to make sure to have the crowd in it as well. That kind of play will do it. Tough for them to handle. And finally, out of bounds off the antenna as the Falcons continue this great run. It's now 19-11, or 17 rather. It was 19-11 getting things going, so a 2-point set. That one looks long. Well, Pelluer just had a fantastic run right there. Still, just a 3-point lead for the Seawolves. And you can see that there's a little bit more stress on their faces right now. And the Falcons, a little more relaxed, just playing smart at this point. Good set. Nice up front by Hannah Hare. That's a tough one. Christina Lopez with the set. That's going to be, they keep staying alive. Almost hits the ceiling in here. Lopez. Chambers. And finally, wrapped up at the very end. And it's a 2-point set now. Second time it's got back to 2 points. The other just briefly ago, a little while ago, 20-18. Now the score. Christina Lopez will serve over on your right. Here she comes with the serve. And that is the service error. Those are really can be tough to handle because you just got to get it over the net. And I mean, sure, you get excited and things can happen. So, I mean, you understand how they do happen, but they're so close. If they can just make sure to keep the Seawolves from getting a point or two here to pull away and get closer to serving for the set, they've got to stay focused in their game. Chambers with the set. Over to Lopez. Sydney Perry. Nice job on the back line by Pelluer. Perry, and that is going to unfortunately go as a point for the Seawolves after a great effort by the Falcons. So the Seawolves have it back to a 4-point lead at 22-18. And another timeout has been called. That's called by Seattle Pacific, their second and final timeout to be used here in set number 1. And we'll be right back. Now we go live again here at Royal Brome Pavilion. Mark Ockett bringing you the action on the Seattle Pacific University Falcons Network. Team switching sides, so now Alaska Anchorage far side from you there, or on the left side for you, as they lead 1-0. 25-22 was the final score in set number 1.
This is what the broadcast is showing? Is there anything? No?
I'm not the guy to talk to about it. I don't have any control over it.
Oh.
Okay. So we are set to go. And I just had an interruption in the press box here. So no score in, obviously, to start things off in the second set. We're checking on a technical situation. Hang on. Okay, we're trying to get all set here technically, and the Falcons have control of it right now. Sydney Perry, Alaska Anchorage, and there is Aaron Smith. No point as of yet, obviously. Good movement of the ball. It's always fun when they get to this point to see who's going to break through, and the Falcons get it. So SPU takes a 1-0 lead here to start things off. Emily Tolino will serve for the Falcons. Big kill attempt right there, but an excellent block by the Falcons. Seawolves with control of things. Tolino to Aaron Smith, and Aaron Smith gets it done. Falcons up 2-0, and what could be happening here is what I was talking about in that first set, is after they got down by so much, they did such a great job of coming back, got close to tying it up, down by 1 point, and then that momentum, it looks like, carried over to set number 2 so far. Just off the tape. And that's going to fall in there for Seawolves point. Set to serve for Alaska Anchorage is Katie Bertzel. Aaron Smith blocked out of there. Now, they were using the full court up front a lot in the first part of that set. I'm talking about the Seawolves. Sydney Perry goes long on that one, and so it is now tied at 2. Going to dig into some information with these teams right here, or how the standings look coming into today. Central Washington on top in GNAC. They are 4-0 and 6-4 overall. That one sails long. It'll be a point for the Falcons. Abigail Cunningham will come into the lineup for Sydney Perry. That's the normal rotation for them. And Abigail will serve. She's a senior now. That time went by fast. Good serve just over the net. Cunningham, Tolino, Smith. Nice dig by the Falcons. Lopez to Anna Pallur. That was magic right there. Falcons now up by 2. They really worked it around beautifully. Abigail Cunningham leading things off with the serve. Here she goes once again. That was a tough one to get, and the Falcons got to it initially, but just unable to finish it up as Cunningham chased it down, but it was already out of bounds. Madison Galloway will serve for the Seawolves. Falcons getting a 2-0 lead, then after it was tied 2 more points, that's a good trend to go in. Oh, that doesn't look good. Lopez chasing it down and is unable to get after it as the set is tied. In the all-time series between these two teams, two schools, Alaska Anchorage leads just by one match win, 33-32. So obviously very even through all these years in GNAC. Toledo fed it to Pelluer, but great blocking up front by the Seawolves, and they will take the lead for the first time in this set. Alaska Airlines Center, the home for the Seawolves. Very nice facility up there in Anchorage. Alaska Fairbanks was just in here 2 days ago and had the 3-0 sweep, but Falcons again playing hard in that one. That's going to be on the floor. Goes as a Falcons point. Allison Wilkes will try to give SPU the lead right here. Yeah, so a tough stretch, 11 straight matches on the road for the Falcons before they were finally able to get home. Let's hope next year the schedule is more favorable to them, like a lot more favorable. That's the Falcons' point as they're back on top, 6-5 here in set number 2. Anchorage manages to keep it alive on their side. Toledo for Smith. Great combination. Smith gets it done off an excellent set by Emily Toledo. And Wilkes serving with the Falcons up by 2 points. And that matches their biggest lead of the set, which they've had a couple of times. Certainly playing more in sync here in set number 2 from the get-go. Soft touch, Wilkes back there to take it. And there is Toledo. Around the horn they go. Abigail Cunningham. Toledo sets it really nicely for Hare. Hare didn't get the kill, but she had a nice shot at it. Just good defense by the Seawolves. Hare again from the middle. And the Seawolves with the quick hands of Leilani Elder find a way to get the point. Still a very good rally. Christina Lopez back in for the Falcons as their libero. Coming in and serving right now for Anchorage is Hannah Trotter. Trotter had some nice sets setting the ball up in that first set itself. Gets a nice ace right there. Tied up at 14, or at 7, 14 points into this second set. 7's across the board for the teams, and number 7 serving for the Seawolves. That's just out of bounds. Falcons will pick up the point, regain the lead. Double substitution coming for Seattle Pacific. Sophia Chambers and Coco Barnett are both in. It will be Chambers to serve to try to build that lead back a little bit more. Anna Pelluer was very effective with her serving, which really helped the Falcons get back into that first set. That one just skids over the top of the tape. Falcons staying alive with that one. Now there's Pelluer. Looks like we got a net violation called against Alaska Anchorage. So the Falcons have it up to a 2-point lead. And this is a key point right here because they haven't had more than a 2-point lead in this set. They got to try to build it and start building a cushion over the Seawolves and then go for that victory. Unfortunately, a service error right there, and it goes back to a 1-point lead for the Falcons. Tia Allen now back to serve. Anchorage has 3 players from the state of Washington. Allen is one of them. Nice set. That was very tough to handle. Strong kill off the right side by Katie Bertzel, and we are tied once again at 9 apiece. Tia Allen serving. Falcons used, oh, that's right on the net. Didn't creep over. So the Falcons will pick up the point. I'm going to say Falcons used both their timeouts in set number 1, and Anchorage used just 1. Sydney Perry back in. Anna Pelluer at the controls for serving. set up perfectly, and Bertzel, who's been strong throughout this entire set or match, comes through with the kill, and it's tied at 10 apiece. Certainly competitive. That last set turned out competitive once the Falcons started coming back in it, and this one's been tight right from the get-go. The fans are definitely being entertained out here. That's a touch. And now a lead for the Alaska Anchorage. That serve is going to go long, and it is a point for the Falcons. We've seen quite a few service errors in this match so far. Tied at 11. Lopez serving. That's an ace. They just backed off and let her drop that one in there. It was maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Lopez will give it another try right here. Allison Wilkes, right up front, saw it coming, popped it right back down, and the Falcons back to a 2-point lead, 13-11. Lopez set to deliver here. Wilkes gets it done. There's a 3-point lead now for Seattle Pacific. So important that they win this set and not go down 2-0. We have a timeout on the floor called by the Seawolves, the first one they've used in set number 2, and the Falcons with a 14. Action set to resume here at Royal Brome Pavilion in Seattle. Christina Lopez, that was a perfect serve. Over on the left side of the court, and she just dropped a beauty in there. So now the Falcons with a 4-point lead. Biggest they've had throughout the match. Got to keep this going. Stay alive with this trend. Anchorage not coming through with those big kills as much, and that's what those timeouts are for, to make the adjustments, especially on that back line. And there it is again. Sydney Perry. And it's fun to see the Falcons showing this kind of confidence out there. Just got to stay with it, keep things going, keep building. Lopez has been the good luck charm in this set, like Anna Plura was in the first set. Back there serving, each one of them has done a very good job of setting the pace. Nicely done by Barnett over on the right side there. Look out for that one. Plura with an excellent dig. And finally the Seawolves come up with the point. You really got to like how the Falcons strung those points together. Seawolves will make a substitution. Kaden Osborne is back in, and she will serve. That A little tough to handle, but Perry gets after it after the initial dig. That works in the Falcons' advantage, and they got it back to a 5-point lead. Tolino and Aaron Smith, always a good combination. Back in for the Falcons, it'll be Emily Tolino that will serve for SPU. They've got 8 points to go to try to win this set. I keep that focus going and build on that lead of 5 points right now. Tough to handle. Yeah, I don't know where that hit. Jason Ryan, the head coach of the Falcons, in his third year is wondering the same thing. No challenge call, though. Katie Birdsall will serve. Falcons still up by 4 points here in set number 2. Perry, the set by Tolino. That's a tough one. The Falcons survive on defense that time. Tough break there. Lopez tried to get after it and couldn't quite make the play. So the Seawolves will pick up the point and now just down by 3 points after the Falcons led by 5. Just regroup, get set to go, and start shutting down Alaska Anchorage. Perry slams one in there. Pelluer with a good set. Tolino to Wilkes to point. They get it done. Each one of these so crucial as you move towards 25. Abigail Cunningham will replace Sydney Perry. Falcons up by 4. You got to think if they increase their lead by a couple more points that the Seawolves will call a timeout as they start to see this one getting away from them. But the Falcons have to get there first. There's Tolino. Right on over to Anna Pelluer. No doubt about that. As she drills it in there for the point. Falcons back to a 5-point lead. Cunningham serving to get the Falcons a 6-point lead and up that lead in 20 points on the scoreboard. Driven by Cunningham. Excellent job by the 5 over the top. That's where they've been playing really good as a team. Once they got down in that hole and called that timeout, they've found ways to try and close the gaps. Tough break. But a good job by Tia Allen to drive that one in there. Made it a little difficult to get after. And Alaska Anchorage will serve, down by 4. Into the net, service error. There's that 20th point for the Falcons. They're up by 5 now. Hannah Hare will check in as a strong middle blocker. SBU set to serve. It'll be Allison Wilkes. That was a tough one to handle on the kill attempt that time by Tia Allen. Wilkes, Tolino, Aaron Smith, and it works. Fun to watch how that went. Another timeout has been called by Alaska Anchorage, right about where I thought it would be called, with a 6-point lead by the Falcons, and that's their second and final timeout they have used here in set number 2. Live here at Seattle Pacific as they get back to action off the serve there. Aaron Smith setting it up for Anna Pallur, who delivers. Great ball movement and teamwork out there as the Falcons are up by 7 points now, 22-15. Making it happen. And you know they're feeling victory here. They want to even this match up. Unfortunately, that one goes into the net, though, for a service error. Just keep it together. Don't let that affect you as Wilkes will depart. Lopez is back in. Bella Burney will get back in for the Seawolves, and also coming on board, Hannah Trotter. Trotter sets a serve with her team down by 6 points. Pallur off the set by Tolino. Excellent block right up front. Hannah Hare. That's a hard one to handle. Abigail Cunningham gets it done. And eventually ends up over on the right side. And Aaron Smith, who's having a great match, delivers. Falcons will sub in with Sophia Chambers and Coco Barnett. And Chambers will serve. SPU up by 7 points. Right where you want to be. Try to even it up here. That's just a bit long. Checking it kills. Allison Wilkes leads the Falcons with 4. Oh, no, there's 3 tied with 4. Allison Wilkes, Anna Pallur, and Aaron Smith. T. Allen on top for Alaska Anchorage with 7. Right on the spot, Larson Anderson gets it done for the Seawolves. 5-point Falcon lead. Tia Allen to serve. Cunningham. Right over to Chambers and then to Hannah Hare to finish it off. And the Falcons will serve for set number 2. Sydney Perry back into the lineup for SPU as they want this one. And it's going to be Anna Pallur with the Falcons up by 6. That's out. Goes as an SPU point, and they win set number 2 convincingly, 25-18. And they have tied the match up at 1 set apiece, heading to set number 3 as they'll switch sides. And we know we're going 4 sets here this afternoon, at least 4 sets between these two teams. As the intermission 5 minutes, we'll take a break here, and you're watching SPU Volleyball on SPUFalcons.com. Welcome back here at Royal Brome Pavilion, home of the Seattle Pacific University Falcons. Here in Seattle, Washington, taking a look at statistics through the first two sets. Assists are even for each team with 22. Service aces, Alaska Anchorage has 5, Falcons with 3. In service errors, Alaska Anchorage leads 8-6. Block assists, they're up 8-4. In block errors, they lead 2-1. In digs, the Falcons lead 46-41. Total blocks, Alaska Anchorage with 5 and the Falcons with 3. In reception errors, 5 for SPU and 3 for Alaska Anchorage. Tied at 1 set apiece, the Seawolves won 25-22 in set number 1, and then the Falcons turned the tables on them in set number 2, winning 25-18. But the big thing right there is the fact that the Falcons really started to put it together once they were down by 9 in that first set. They took a timeout, reloaded, adjusted, did the right type of things to make things more cohesive, and they broke the rhythm of Alaska Anchorage. And then finished that set strong and took it right into set number 2. And they'll try to keep that going here in set number 3. Again, tied at 1 apiece. Alaska Anchorage will serve to start us off here in set number 3. It'll be Caden Osborne back deep to serve for the Seawolves. And we're underway here in set number 3. That goes out of bounds, but real solid effort by the Falcons. Seawolves take the early lead. I mentioned earlier that Central Washington was on top in GNAC at 4-0, and today Central is playing at Northwest Nazarene. Excellent slam right there. Coming through for the Falcons is Allison Wilkes to tie it up at 1. Lopez departs. Wilkes will be back to serve. Tolino, Aaron Smith, Hannah Hare, Anna Pallur, all out there for the Falcons, as well as Abigail Cunningham. That goes off a Falcon player. Seawolves pick up the point to gain the lead. Katie Bertzel will serve. And the serve coming up for Alaska Anchorage. Strong with the right hand is Aaron Smith, but goes back the other direction for a Seawolves point. Simon Frazier is tied with Western Washington for second place in GNAC. Then Alaska Fairbanks comes in at 3-2. Northwest Nazarene at 2-2. Falcons back a ways in 9th at 1-3. Just dropped in there by Bethany Tuhart, and it's a 3-point lead for the Seawolves. The Falcons need to start getting things put together as the Seawolves building momentum early in this first set, third set. That's into the net. Service error. That'll work. Sophia Chambers and Coco Barnett return for the Falcons. It'll be Chambers serving. Good serve over on the right side. That's going to be out of bounds. No, that's going to be last touch by the Falcons. I think there's a net violation is the official call. So that gives the Seawolves a 3-point lead. Larson Anderson returns to their lineup. Serve coming up from Madison Galloway. Chambers sets it up. Elder touches it last, and the Falcons will get the point. Anna Pallur back to serve. And she's had a solid match so far. Then I say that she has a service error. 6-3. Coming back in for the Seawolves will be Bella Burney and also Hannah Trotter. Again, the coaches for the two teams, Stacy Meisner for Alaska Anchorage, and her assistants Morgan Ho and Avery Reynolds. Sydney Perry, Lopez, over to Chambers, and then the front kill right up front. Falcons, if they're going to, they need to really try to stay pace and keep it close and start creeping away, take that lead away. There's Lopez. That was a really good set. Falcons were in great position to block it and prevent the point from happening. We've seen some really good sets by Alaska Anchorage, especially at the start of the first actual set. And a lot of cross-court passing. Perry, it's blocked back. Net violation, that's going to be a point for the Falcons as they trail by just one now. Christina Lopez will serve for the tie here at SPU. Works in the Falcons' advantage as they'll pick up the point and tie 6 apiece. Lopez will serve. Take the lead for SPU. That's the combination they've been going with. 7-14 right there. Hannah Trotter to Bella Burney. They regain the lead at 7-6. Tia Allen now will serve. Mentioned the Washington State players that are on the Seawolves roster. Bethany Tuhart went to Battleground High School and also Highline Community College, about 20 miles from here in the south end. Score the point for the Falcons as they've tied it up at 7. Tolino and Smith in for SPU as Tolino will serve. Chambers comes out of the match. Hannah Hare also out at this point in time. Falcons in a position to take the lead here in set number 3. Seawolves set up defensively. And the key is to just watch those service errors. Oh, that almost was one. But it crept over itself. Sydney Perry. Now, superb blocking by Allison Wilkes right up front. She's put together a great match. Wilkes leads in kills right now for the Falcons, has 6 of them. Anna Pallur leading in digs with 13. Tolino to Perry. Seawolves get their hands on it. Now they'll go the other direction. There it is, right up front. Allison Wilkes. And it's a 2-point Falcon lead. Timeout will be called by Alaska Anchorage as the Falcons lead 9-7. And this is the first timeout used by the Seawolves here in set number 3. Coming back here, Falcons on a nice roll. They're up 9-7 in set number 3. Alaska Anchorage won the first set 25-22. Falcons came back with a very impressive second set to win it 25-18. And now Tulino will serve. Tulino to Aaron Smith. But a point for the Seawolves. Just looking at the totals on digs for the Seawolves, Katie Burchell leads with 16, Hannah Trotter with 9, Tia Allen with 7, and then for the Falcons, Anna Palura with 13, Christina Lopez with 12, and Emily Tolino with 8. Perry, she cranked it hard, but there's a Seawolves player right there to block it back as they picked up 2 consecutive points. Sydney Johnson serving. And those timeouts are so important. In that case, Seawolves made an adjustment. Now the Falcons will get the point. Back up. Madison Galloway returns for the Seawolves. Abigail Cunningham will serve for the Falcons. She's had some good serves throughout this match. Lopez, strong on the backside. That is an excellent finish, a great finish. Coming through that time for the Falcons is Aaron Smith, and SPU is up by 2 once again. Abigail Cunningham very strong on her serving in set number 2. She has nice touch. That's a great skill in itself to be very good at serving. There is a kill for Anna Palur. Gives the Falcons their biggest lead of the set, and that of either team, at 12-9, as Cunningham will ready herself for the service. There's that familiar combination on the set. Trotter to Bernie. Palur. Good to see Anna Palur getting more playing time this year as a junior. Cunningham, strong on the backside there. And the Falcons finish it up, put a ribbon around it for the point. They're up by 4. Chip away 1 point at a time. Just got to stay within themselves like they have been. And through now becoming more of the set, the Falcons have had some great communication out there. Point for the Seawolves. Caden Osborne returns to the lineup with Leilani Elder. That's that substitution combination. Osborne serving. Seawolves down by 3. That's a tough one. That was a really strong serve. She had plenty on it and just came off the hands and such wrong for Seattle Pacific. So a 2-point deficit for the Seawolves now. Falcons with both their timeouts left. And that's a good thing as we get deeper into the set that they still have those in the bank. Oh, excellent blocking. Katie Bertzel getting the job done. And it turns into a 1-point set. Seawolves on a 3-0 run at this point. That's going to go out of bounds, and we are tied. The set, a solid one by Emily Tolino over to Aaron Smith, and now we got a timeout called by Seattle Pacific. 13-13 the score. About halfway through set number 3 here on SPUFalcons.com. Welcome back to Royal Brome Pavilion, a 13-13 tie. Set number 3. Tied at 1 set apiece. Good serve. Great block. That's Leilani Elder. 5-0 run for the Seawolves. Finding themselves on top right now. Next match for the Falcons is on October 10th, 7 o'clock at Western Washington. That's out of bounds. Service error. The Falcons desperately needed that point. Allison Wilkes serving. Going for the lead right here. Gets a good serve off. Tolino to Smith. Smith gets it done. Coming through with the kill. Falcons back on top. 2 good points in a row. Wilkes has also been real solid with her serves there. And there's another one. Gets the ace on that one. SPU up by 2. She's doing very well in the server driver's seat back there. Going to give it another shot. Seawolves come through with the point, and it's a 1-point deficit. Katie Bertzel now setting up to serve. Tolino to Smith. Blocked out, and that's going to go as a Seattle Pacific point. That combination has been really good, although they're going to come out right now. Sophia Chambers and Coco Barnett are back in for the Falcons. SPU up by 2 points. Chambers serving. Net ball. Not a good time to have that happen. Not that there ever is a great time to have that happen. Sydney Johnson and Larson Anderson rotate around, and it's going to be Anderson staying in for the Seawolves. 1-point lead for SPU. Out it goes. Last touch by Chambers, and we're back tied again. 17 apiece. Seesaw battle here at SPU. Chambers, Barnett, now Anchorage making the adjustments to keep it alive. Up front, Seawolves staying with it. Tough play right there, and that goes as a point for the Seawolves. They will take the lead, 18-17. 3-point 3-0 run for the Seawolves right now as they're up by 1 point and set to serve. Madison Galloway serving. Down it goes. That's in there. Leilani Elder gets the job done. And a 2-point Seawolves lead. Timeout has been called by Seattle Pacific. They trail by 2 points. It's SPUFalcons.com. Returning here to SPU, a 2-point lead for the Seawolves of Alaska Anchorage, tied at 1 set apiece. Mark Ockett bringing you the action on SPUFalcons.com. Usually I'm down in the PA chair, but switching some things around today. Mark Moschetti is handling those duties, as Aaron is usually up here doing this, so I'll do some play-by-play. And the Seawolves set to serve. That ball just out of bounds. Really had to look close to see how it was going to turn out. A 3-point lead for the Seawolves. We know we're going at least 4 sets here today. Hannah Hare almost popped it in there. That's a tough one to handle. Lopez did handle it well, as the Falcons will keep it alive. Out of bounds, SPU point. Every little bit counts and helps. Anna Pleurer will serve now. Abigail Cunningham coming out of the lineup. Sydney Perry setting up on the front line. Falcons have led through most of this set. And now is when it's getting real key, with it heading towards the 25 mark, and there's another point for the Seawolves as they have it up to a 3-point lead. Hannah Trotter and Bella Burney will check back in. Allison Wilkes coming out of the lineup for the Falcons. Coming through, Sophia Chambers to Coco Barnett. Seawolves and Falcons volleying very well out there. Coming back over, there's Perry. One-handed tap shot right there. SPU in control of it. Just not being able to find the hole at this point in time. Chambers. That's Barnett. Down it goes, and this is going quite a while now. Each team making the adjustments. That's going to go out of bounds. And a point for the Seawolves, as they've got it up to a 4-point lead in set number 3. Seawolves serving. Back to serve is Hannah Trotter. That goes out of bounds. Service error. Great opportunity for SPU to get something done right here. Here is Christina Lopez back to serve, wearing the libero jersey. Lopez deals, and that is going to go out. Ace for Christina Lopez, and closes it to a 2-point deficit. The Falcons know this is a team they can beat. They've just got to stay where they're at as far as hanging with them and start creeping away, getting those points back, like right there. An ace, and we're seeing the Falcons 1 point away from tying it. We've got a timeout on the floor. That is the final timeout, able to be called by the Seawolves. 22-21 is our score. Good one here in Seattle, Royal Brome Pavilion. Alaska Anchorage Seawolves leading the Seattle Pacific University Falcons 22-21. Christina Lopez will serve, serving for the tie possibility right here. No timeouts left for either team. Good serve. Real good set as well, and that's the Falcons touching it last, goes out of bounds. A 2-point lead. Got to really play carefully right now with them having 23 points. It's been a good match so far. Both teams really pretty even up out here. And the set finish done well by Coco Barnett. Falcons pick up the point, down by 1. Emily Tolino and Aaron Smith come back into the match. Tolino will be serving. Lopez to Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith gets it done to tie it up. 23 apiece. Tolino serving for the Falcons to take the lead. Got to have a beauty right across that net right now. Don't put it into the net. There it is. A little tough to deal with right there. Oh. Seawolves drop it in there, and now they are in a position to serve for the set. Bethany Tuhart rejoins the lineup, as well as Sydney Johnson. Johnson's going to serve for set number 3, even at 1 set apiece. And it works out in the Seawolves' favor. They win set number 3. 25-23. Been a hard fought one out here this afternoon for both teams at SPU, but a 2-set-to-1 lead for Alaska Anchorage as the teams will switch around, and we'll have set number 4 coming up next. Let's take a look at some numbers once again. Looking at Diggs, Katie Birchall coming through with 18 so far for Birchall. For Alaska Anchorage, Tia Allen also has 11. Madison Galloway with 10. And for the Falcons, Anna Pallur on top with digs and 17 of them. Christina Lopez with 14 and Emily Tolino with 11. Overall points, Falcons still lead 70-68. And on top in kills, 37-33. Total attacks, it's Alaska Anchorage 120, Falcons 116. And the hitting percentage, Alaska Anchorage at just 150, Falcons better at 164. 34 assists for the Falcons, 31 for Alaska Anchorage. Seawolves with 7 service aces, and the Falcons with 6. Ready for set number 4. Seawolves lead 2-1. They won the first set 25-22. Falcons came back strong in that one. Falcons real strong in set number 2, winning 25-18. And then the Seawolves holding them back by a final score of 25-23 in set number 3. We are underway in set number 4, and a kill from up front. Bethany Tuhart gets it done for Alaska Anchorage. Katie Bertzel will serve for the Seawolves. Bertzel delivers it. Falcons moving it around. Big power right up front. Leilani Elder off a great set and has the Seawolves up 2-0. Bertzel serving. Net ball, service error. Gives the Falcons a chance to do some serving right here. Abigail Cunningham back into the match, and she will serve. Back and forth they go. That tapped over just over the top. Falcons good defense. Lopez gets a hand on it. Now way back. That's a net call. Big break for the Falcons right there, as it's now tied at 2. Have not been any challenges in this match so far. Cunningham serving. Out of bounds, just by a little bit though. That was her delivery and everything looked real strong on that serve. Madison Galloway back to serve now for Alaska Anchorage, up by 1 point. Started the match here today at 2 o'clock, about an hour and a half into it. Thanks for tuning in on SBUFalcons.com and YouTube. Service error goes long, and the Falcons pick up the point. Time for Allison Wilkes to do some serving. Falcons obviously would like to force this to a 5th set, when the even ones will work out just fine for them. Too many hits that time, and Alaska Anchorage will pick up the point. Christina Lopez back into the lineup for SPU. Also the double change for the Seawolves. Trotter, also Bernie is in. Trotter serving. Is it going to go out of bounds? That'll tie it up at 4 apiece. The 6-9 combination back in for SPU. Sophia Chambers and Coco Barnett. Chambers handling the serving. Opportunity to put the Falcons on top. Lopez, Pallur. That was pounded hard by the Seawolves. Cunningham just did her best to try to get a dig on it, but it went strong and hard off of her hands, way up over by the seats, over the scorer's table and everything. Seawolves will serve. Tia Allen now serving out of Mount Spokane High School. That's in the Meade area over in Spokane. Tough play to make by the net, but the Seawolves get it done. Hare tried to make it happen there. Oh, tough break. Anchorage will get the point, up by 2 now. Tia Allen continues serving. Montana State Billings is off to a rough start in GNAC. They're in 10th place at 0-4. I'm looking to see if there's actually a review taking place on that last play. They're going to take a look at it and to see if they're going to hold with the call. We'll be right back. This has taken quite a while to see on the review whether it was in or out. And so Kylene, the official, looking things over there. That's probably one of the hardest parts of the game of volleyball, and also basketball they'll review too. You're moving right along and great momentum, and then all of a sudden there's a challenge made, and sometimes it just takes a while to figure out the accuracy of the call. Got to look at it a few times because it's so close at many opportunities, many times, and just have to review it, keep looking at it, confer with another official, which I think is happening right now. At present, it's 6-4. Alaska Anchorage got the last point, and it's going to stay a point for them. So 6-4 it stays. Seawolves ready to serve. It's Tia Allen serving. Got to keep them from expanding that lead anymore. Chambers, Pallure. Down it goes. Chambers with a really strong dig. Falcons. Hare got that one back over. Hands are good up front for the blocking. Hannah Hare. Across the court they go. Chambers. Lopez. Pallure. The Falcons moving the ball very well. Got to find that hole. There it is. Barnett. Now this is getting to be a nice run. Falcons having their hands in the right place to not let that ball go through. Keeping it alive. There's Pallure. That's a tough one. Out of bounds. Seawolves gain the 7-4 lead in set number 4. Pallure still leading the Falcons in digs with 18. Birdsall with 19 for the Seawolves. Let's look at kills. That was right there on the antenna, so it's going to be a point for the Falcons. Sydney Perry's back in for SPU. a 2-point deficit for the Falcons as they will serve. Anna Plur serving. Somehow the Seawolves keep that one alive. Perry, across the way she goes. Very good save by Madison Galloway. We've seen some really nice long rally runs out here. And there's Sydney Perry to close the deal. And the Falcons now within 1. Looking at kills, Tia Allen on top with 10 for the Seawolves. Aaron Smith leads the Falcons with 9, followed by Anna Plur with 8. Allison Wilkes with 7. No doubt about that one. Seawolves have it up to a 2-point lead. And they will bring in Sydney Johnson. Johnson is serving. Falcons doing what they can to try to find the holes, as that one was cross court, but didn't quite get the job done. Sydney Perry. And using the left hand this time is Coco Barnett. Pops it over and gets the point. Falcons down by 1. Allison Wilkes back into the competition. Popping back into the match. Christina Lopez now serving on the near side. Unfortunately, it goes too long, and that becomes a point for the Seawolves. They just keep having that 1 to 2 point cushion, and the Falcons can't break it down. Kaden Osborne returns to the Seawolves lineup, and she will serve. Each team with 2 timeouts left here in set number 4. And the Seawolves lead 2-1. Sydney Perry. That is on the Seawolves side of the floor. Barnett makes it happen. Falcons will make substitutions. Sometimes you just have to wait a little bit longer as they get it set. Emily Tolino and Aaron Smith return. Tolino now serving. Player who's been real strong for the Falcons in serving is Christina Lopez. She has 4 aces. Madison Galloway leads the Seawolves with 3. Tough break for the Falcons right there. Seawolves get the point. They're up by 2. Katie Bertzel now serving for Alaska Anchorage. Another one of those points in the set where you just don't want to allow them to get too far ahead. It's just a 2-point set right now, and the Falcons have been doing a good job of keeping it within 1 or 2 points. Lopez. Smith drove it. Good set. Plur. Real good job on the back. And that's going to be blocked. Last touch by the Falcons. And there's a 3-point lead for Alaska Anchorage. Christina Lopez, a perfect hitting percentage out there. Hannah Hare at 250, Aaron Smith at 227. And the Falcons get the point. Be nice to see them put something together right here. Abigail Cunningham comes in, and she's been doing a great job with the serving. 4 aces so far. Bethany Tuhart with the best hitting percentage for the Seawolves as the Falcons get the point. And they are just down by 1. Time to capitalize. Tie it up right here. Cunningham, good serve. Falcons staying alive with it. Lopez, cross they go. Watch out for this one. Here comes the big sweep, and she gets it there for the killing point. Now coming back in for the Seawolves will be Larson Anderson, as Alaska Anchorage has Madison Galloway back serving, and a 2-point lead here in set number 4. That was perfect. The set by Emily Tolino and the finish by Anna Pallur, who's having herself a great match out here today. Hannah Hare back in. Allison Wilkes to serve, and the Falcons going for the tie once again here in set number 4. Love the way they're hanging in there, trying to get their second GNAC win. That's tough. It'll go as an ace. Wilkes picks up the ace, and we are tied at 12. Good time for the Falcons to really step on the gas. Psychologically, it'd be great if they can take the lead right here. There's Wilkes, just gets it off the net, off the tape, but over. Net violation called against SPU. That's going to give the point to the Seawolves as Lopez checks back in for the Falcons. And then the combo of Trotter and Burney return for Alaska Anchorage. Trotter serving. Tolino to Hannah Hare, and it's in there. Point for the Falcons, tying it up at 13. Sophia Chambers, Coco Barnett back in. Chambers serving for the lead for SPU. Up high, off the ceiling. There it goes to Pallur. Strong dig by Madison Galloway. And off the Falcons. Just having a hard time getting that lead here. Down by 1, about technically halfway through the 4th set, but you never know how long one of these is going to go once they get, if there's plays like this close, they could go a ways when they get near 25. Pallur got it in there nicely, but a good recovery by the Seawolves, and then they get the point going the other side of the court. Tia Allen now serving. The Seawolves up by 2 points. Pallur, Chambers, back to Pallur. And now the Seawolves going back and forth. That one's on the floor, and the Falcons pick up the point, put a little more pressure on it. Sydney Perry checks back in for Abigail Cunningham. It'll be Anna Pallur serving. Into the net. Goes as a service there. Just another great opportunity for Seattle Pacific. And they couldn't get it done. Sydney Johnson returning. Johnson will now serve. Just off the net. Across it goes. That was a smart move. Real smart setup that time. And the Falcons finish it up. Chance to tie once again. This is really a good, fun, entertaining 4th set here at SPU. The Falcons battling, trying to get this to 5 sets. Tough break for SPU that time. Bethany Tuhart delivers. 2-point lead. Kaden Osborne back to serve. Sydney Perry knocked it over. Now the Seawolves going long on that one. And that'll be a point for the Falcons. Again, another chance for them to tie. Emily Tolino and Aaron Smith return to the Falcons lineup. Tolino serving to tie it up here in set number 4. Both teams locked in right here. There's Sydney Perry. Net call goes against the Seawolves. It's tied at 17. Falcons now with an opportunity to take the lead here in set number 4. Tolino serving. Tolino, nice dig. Sydney Perry. Falcons working around the set for Perry. And there's another really good defense by Alaska Anchorage. Tolino to Aaron Smith. Almost got it in there. Seawolves have been very strong with their digs. Miraculous save by Alaska Anchorage. And that's going to be volleyed around. Here's a set to Aaron Smith. Soft touch on that one. Still going. Still going. Allison Wilkes. Set up for Sydney Perry. It is in. So after that long one, the Falcons come out on top, and they also lead 18-17. They need to keep it going to force a set number 5 here at Royal Brome Pavilion. Tolino with the serve. That's blocked back, but unfortunately goes out of bounds. Seawolves will get the point. They tie it back up again at 18 apiece. Katie Bertzel will now serve. Perry, Tolino, cross she goes. That was a nice positioning with the ball by Aaron Smith. Pallure, Tolino to Perry, almost puts it in. That's going to go out of bounds. Falcons will pick up the point and regain the lead, 19-18. SBU serving. It's Abigail Cunningham, the senior, set to go. Finds its way over the net. And a point coming the way, other direction for Alaska Anchorage. 19-19 is our score. Sydney Johnson and Larson Anderson working their way around, and it's going to be Anderson in. Madison Galloway serving. Tied at 19. Both teams have played very well out here today. Tolino to Pallure. It was not touched. It thought maybe it was touched by a player for Alaska Anchorage, but not going to be the case. Galloway set to serve once again. It's going to go as an ace and a 2-point lead for the Seawolves. Falcons really need to tighten up defensively and find a way to pick up some points. There's going to be a timeout. That's called by the Falcons. It is their first timeout used in set number 4 as they trail by 2, 21-19 on SBUFalcons.com. Back to action. Seawolves set to serve. Up by 2 points, 21-19. This is set number 4. Do or die for the Falcons. Aaron Smith pounds it for the point. Need some more of that to push this to a 5th set. Allison Wilkes going back deep to serve for SPU. On the way, that is going to be a little tough to handle. Tulino, Wilkes, Pallure. That's going to be out of bounds. Last touched by Leilani Elder, and we are tied at 21. Wilkes need to have a good set right here, or a serve right here. Don't hit that net or have it go out of bounds. Just over the top. Great serve. Outstanding. And the Falcons are on top. 22-21. Forces Alaska Anchorage to take a timeout. Each team has taken one timeout. 1 point lead for the Falcons, on top at a perfect point in the match. Let's take a look at some numbers here. Total blocks, Bethany Tuhart with 3. Coco Barnett for the Falcons also with 3. Those leading both teams. In kills, Tia Allen has 12 for the Seawolves, followed by Katie Bartzel, and she has 11. Bertzel with 11, then Bethany Tuhart with 11. For the Falcons, Aaron Smith leads with 10 kills, followed by Anna Pallura with 9, and Allison Wilkes tied with her with 9. Hitting percentage, Bertzel with 370, Lopez still on top at 1,000, and it is Allison Wilkes at 267. In assists, Kaden Osborne with 21 to lead the Seawolves, followed by Hannah Trotter with 14. For the Falcons, Sophia Chambers leads with 21. Emily Tolino with 15. Service aces, Madison Galloway of the Seawolves and Christina Lopez of the Falcons, each tied with 4. Allison Wilkes of the Falcons has 3. 22-21. Falcons need 3 points, win by 2 to force a set number 5. Very doable with the stretch they've been playing here recently. Wilkes. Tough one. There's Hannah Hare right up front, and the great emotion. She plays with so much heart and gets that one to go in off the block. And the Falcons up by 2, 23-21. Need 2 more points. Allison Wilkes getting the serving done. There's Cunningham. Tulino. Pallure. Over on the other side. Oh, near block in there for a Falcon point. Aaron Smith drives it home. Off the backside there of the Seawolves player, and the Falcons lead it 24-21. Another timeout called by the Seawolves. This will be their second and final timeout in set number 4. Falcons by 3. Chance to win it when we come back. SBU back out on the court after the Seawolves timeout. Falcons will serve for set number 4. Allison Wilkes serving for SPU. Here she comes. Just over the net. That's another great serve. Oh, that's going to be tough. Aaron Smith toughs it out, gets it. Tolino. Now, Alaska Anchorage with their backs to the wall in this one. Well, that one worked for them as they're just down by 2, but still set point for the Falcons. Christina Lopez returns to the Falcons lineup. Back in for the Seawolves will be Hannah Trotter and Bella Burney. Trotter serving. Falcons can win it right here and force a set number 5. Just out of bounds. Seawolves can tie it right here. And it looks like the Falcons are going to call a timeout. That's their final timeout. Both teams have used them both here in set number 4. Falcons can still win it with a point as they lead 24-23 on spufalcons.com. Back to action. It is service time for Alaska Anchorage. Falcons just need the 1 point to win it. That's going to go out of bounds. And we are tied at 24. The Seawolves with 3 consecutive points. Falcons were up 24-21. And now it's a tie set. Hannah Trotter serving. Falcons need to play smart here, regain that lead. And there it is. Driving it home will be Aaron Smith. SPU up by 1 point. Smith will come out. Sophia Chambers back in. She'll handle the serving duties. Falcons just need that 1 point to force it to set number 5. We're going to keep going. Kill on the left side. Getting the job done is Tia Allen. Allen's also going to serve now. Tied at 25. What a set and match we have going on here at Seattle Pacific University. Oh. Dropped it in there as the 2 players split. And now it's a set point for, and match point for Alaska Anchorage, up 26-25. And they get it done. Winning it on the serve for the ace, and the Falcons lose 27-25, and they drop to 1-4 in GNAC play and 1-12 overall. The Seawolves improved to 9-7 overall and 3-3 in conference play, winning their second in a row. They're now 4-3 on the road as the Falcons drop to 0-2 at home. Great battle out here. The Falcons certainly had their chances as they had a chance at 4 set points out there, but just couldn't quite get the job done. And you got to look at the Seawolves too and how they started out in this match with a strong start in set number 1. Falcons came back real well, and the Seawolves did win that one 25-22. And then the Falcons really lit it up in that second set, winning 25-18. Seawolves get the last one, 25-23. And then the final one, a win of 27-25. So not a lot of difference in the Falcons losing those 3 sets by a grand total of 7 points. And they end up losing here in this one, and they'll move on now. SPU will come up playing now on October 10th at Western Washington against the Vikings at 7 o'clock. Then on October 12th, they'll play Simon Fraser at 5 p.m. So Thursday and Saturday of next week, Falcon volleyball action. Should be able to get it on spufalcons.com. Thank everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you being involved in SPU Athletics and Alaska Anchorage Seawolves Athletics, for those of you tuning in to watch their players as well. Have a great rest of your day. And winning is for tonight. Sportsmanship is for a lifetime. Go Falcons. And Mark Ockett saying goodbye for now.